Hello guys. Tonight I will talk about how to create a 2D game with Ruby. I'm working at Rin Central, but I just wanted to say a quick word. We also have Ruby meetups in Toulouse, so if you're in the neighborhood, come and we will be glad to have you. But now let's start the talk. So I will talk about Gosu, which is a 2D game development library for Ruby and C++, but we will focus, of course, on the Ruby aspect. It has many dependencies, with the most important one being the SDL2. And so, what do we want to do first to create a game? We need a window. To create a window, we create our class which inherits from a Gosu window. We override the initializer with the size of the window we want to create. There are plenty of other non-mandatory arguments. I won't go deep into it. And then we just call, initialize our object and call the show method. From that point, we will have a window, and we will not execute the other lines of code below this method until the window is closed. So what does this code do? I didn't lie, it creates a window. It's empty, but it will not stay empty for long. So as I said, we will not execute the rest of the code. So where do we put our game code? To do that, when we call show, we will start what is called a game loop. So the update and draw methods from your class will be called again and again and again. Every time we call it once, we call that a tick. And when I say that during one tick, we call update and draw, I'm actually kind of lying, because for performance reasons, we might not call draw. We might drop it during a tick sometimes. So by default, it's called 60 times 60 ticks per second. And it's really important to separate your code. In update, you will have all the game logic, moving your player, computing the score and everything. And in draw, you will only display the different elements. So how do we draw something? For that, we have the image class. We just give the path to an image. And when we want to draw it, we call drawIt with the coordinates where we want to put our image. So it will be horizontal, then vertical. I will say X and Y for the rest of this talk because it's shorter. And the coordinates, they work like that. The top left of your screen will be the origin. The more you go to the right, the more you increase the X. The more you go to the bottom, the more you increase the Y. And so, for example, in this, I go 320 to the right, 240 to the bottom, and I have the pixel in the middle of my screen. And from that point, if I draw an image which is 200 by 200, it will be 200 to the right from this point and 200 to the bottom. In my example, it was 0, 0, so you guessed it, it will be on the top left. So far, I don't have a game, I just display an image. If I was to animate it, it will still not be a game, it will be a movie. So what makes a game is that you can interact with it. And to do that, you need to handle inputs. So the more common method in Gosu, it's button down. You pass a constant, which will be a key from your keyboard. So for example, in the second line, it will return true if I press the right key and false if the key is not pressed. One cool thing with Gosu is that you can really easily handle gamepads because it's just other constants. And so you can use a gamepad for your game. Another thing that is usually used is to have the coordinates of the mouse in your window. And for that, you have two methods, mouse X and mouse Y. So let's see how we can use that. So I initialize X and Y to 0 as variables. And when I draw my player, I will use those variables. And in the update method, if my right key is pressed, I increase the X, so my player will move to the right at the velocity of 60 pixels per second. And for the Y, I use the mouse position, and I limit it from 0 and the height of my window minus the height of my image. This way, if the mouse is out of the window, the image will stay in the window. And let's see how it works. When I press the right button, it moves to the right. And when I move my mouse up and down, the player moves as well. And at the end, we can see that the mouse is out of the window, but now not the player. Another thing that we can do is draw some text. It's kind of like the image. But what's interesting is that there's a third parameter, which is mandatory for this method and not for the image. I don't really know why. It's the Z. So the Z is the depth. And so like the higher the V and the more the image will be close to your eyes. It will not make the image or the text bigger because it's 2D, but if two elements are the same position, it's the one with the higher Z which will be shown. And finally, last thing that we can do to have a more immersive game is to have some sound. So we have two different classes. One which is song, which will be used for a long song, like as a background music. We cannot do a lot of things with this class. We can just like basically play the song. And samples, which is made for shorter songs. And like the song, you can only play one at a given time, and the samples, you can play several samples at the same time, and they are loaded entirely in memory. So like in this code, I played the song as a background, and the true argument will make it loop. And in the update, if I press the right key, I played the jump sound. So that's basically it. All that is cool, but all the example that I gave, it was really ugly. It was just a black screen with a little image. So can we really do something cooler than that? And for that, I need to play the video. I don't know how to do it. Can you? Yeah, I sent a video on Slack. I swear to you that it works as well when I make a live demo, but I could not use my computer. And actually, it's better in live because this will lag. And again, I swear that on my computer, it's smoother. It's because of the screen recording. I have it, so we can play if you want. You can go upper, I think, and yeah, play the... No, no, this is a slide. Yeah, higher, and yeah, this one. So like basically, Mario Bros could have been done in Ruby. Like everything is working, and I think that I made this thing in like 2 days or something like that because Ruby is amazing, as we know. And just as a quick joke, if you have a wide screen, you can also play Mario Ultra Wide just by changing one character. And that's it for me. Can you tu peux aller sur les slides juste, s'il te plaît? Okay. I will make the slide available, but as a last thing. So like the documentation of this gem is really awesome, and the API is really cool. So even if you don't want to make a game, I encourage you to look at the doc. That's it. So if you have questions, I can take them. Yeah?
First, can you compile the code and garnish as an exec? And the second one is what about performances? Is it like really laggy or your PC is hot?
Okay, so like 2 questions, I guess I will repeat them for the stream. Can we compile and run the code, and is it laggy? So like for the first one, it's kind of the problem, like Ruby is really not a good thing to share executables. So unfortunately not ready. The last time I checked, it was really complicated to package things to send them to some people. So I'd say no, it's more for like fun and POCs and stuff like that, but not for a commercial game. And about the lagging part, for like old school games and everything, no, it's running like spotless, and it's what you do about it, but like, no, it's working really well. And I can show you later to prove you if you want. Okay, cool. Thank you.